Foot swelling. If your feet look normal in the morning and feel like balloons by dinner, this is not aging. This is your body holding on to fluid it was never supposed to keep. And there are 6 foods, real natural foods, that research suggests can help your body start draining that fluid. The first one, studies suggest it can increase fluid release in as little as 5 hours. But that is not even the part that surprises most seniors I talk to. You know the feeling. You put your shoes on at 8 in the morning and they are fine. By 4 in the afternoon, you can barely get them off. Your socks leave grooves so deep you can still see them an hour later. And you have been told this is normal. That's just what happens after 60. That it's gravity. That you should prop your feet up and wait it out. Most seniors are told that the answer to swollen feet is simple. Just prop your legs up and cut back on salt. However, a Cochrane review analyzing 17 clinical trials found that the real issue is not what is pushing fluid down into your legs. It is what is leaking out of your veins. And until you fix that leak, elevation only gives you temporary relief. By the end of this, I am going to show you exactly what is happening inside your veins after 60 that most doctors never connect to your swollen feet. And once you understand it, you will know exactly which foods to eat, when to eat them, and in what order. And there is one food on this list that surprises every senior I talk to. But first, let me tell you why everything you have tried so far has only worked halfway. For years, you have been told the same 2 things: cut back on salt, elevate your legs. And you did both. You cut the salt, you propped your feet up every evening, maybe you even bought those compression socks your neighbor told you about. And for a little while, it helped. But by afternoon, same thing. Swollen, tight, heavy, like your shoes shrank overnight. And listen, if that has been your experience, I want you to hear something. You are not doing it wrong. You are not being lazy. You are not failing to follow instructions. You are following the only instructions you were given. And those instructions were incomplete. That is it. That is the whole reason nothing has fully worked. And what I want for you, more than anything in this conversation, is for you to finally understand why. My name is Dr. David Collin. I am a senior wellness researcher and nutritional health educator. And after 60, everything changes. Most people are not told why. I will tell you. But before I go any further, this is for educational purposes only. Always discuss any changes with your own doctor. What I am about to share comes from published research, named institutions, and real data. It is not a prescription, it is information. And I believe you deserve to have it. Here is what the old advice misses. Cutting salt is one piece, elevation is one piece. But the National Institutes of Health's Office of Dietary Supplements has been publishing data for years showing that magnesium absorption decreases with age, and that common medications like acid reflux pills and blood pressure drugs actively deplete it further. The Cleveland Clinic has recommended magnesium intake of 200 to 400 milligrams daily for swelling. But nobody connects these dots for you. The real enemy here is not salt. It is not gravity. It is the outdated one-size-fits-all advice that tells you foot swelling is just aging, and that the only answers are elevation, salt restriction, and stronger pills. All while completely ignoring the 4 root mechanisms that are actually driving the swelling from the inside. The system is not trying to hurt you. It just has not caught up. If you want honest, research-backed information about keeping your legs strong and your feet comfortable after 60, this channel is built specifically for you. By the time I am done, you will understand exactly why your feet swell worse every year. And you will have a clear, simple, morning to evening protocol you can start today. 6 foods, 4 mechanisms, 1 conversation. Your doctor never told you this, but I will. Let us start with the first food, and this is the one on the thumbnail, the tea, because what most people do not realize is that this simple plant has been used as a natural diuretic for over 2,000 years. in traditional Chinese medicine, in Ayurvedic medicine, across Europe and the Americas. The French word for it literally translates to something I cannot say on camera, because of what it does to your bladder. It is a dandelion. Dandelion root tea, that plant most people pull out of their yard and throw away. A pilot study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine in 2009, Clare, Conroy, and Spellman took 17 volunteers and gave them a dandelion leaf extract. Within 5 hours of the first dose, there was a significant increase in urinary frequency. That is your body releasing fluid it had been holding onto. And the excretion ratio, the amount of fluid coming out compared to what went in, increased significantly after the second dose. The data showed p-values below 0.001. That is strong. Stop. This next part is the piece most seniors miss entirely. Most pharmaceutical diuretics, the water pills your doctor might prescribe, they flush fluid out, but they take your minerals with them. Potassium, magnesium, the very minerals your legs need to manage water balance. Dandelion is different. It naturally contains potassium and magnesium in the leaf itself, so as it helps your kidneys release excess sodium and water, it is replacing some of what gets lost. That is why traditional healers used it for centuries, not because they had to study, because they watched it work without the side effects. Practical. Steep 1 dandelion root tea bag in hot water for 10 minutes. Drink it in the morning and early afternoon, not before bed. You will be in the bathroom. And if you are on any prescribed diuretic medications, do not replace them with tea. Talk to your doctor first. This works alongside your existing routine, not instead of it. Now, here is where the story deepens. Because dandelion helps your kidneys flush excess fluid. But your kidneys need a partner. They need magnesium. And after 60, most people are not getting enough. This is not age. This is a mineral your body stopped getting, and the right food can change that. The NIH, the National Institutes of Health, publishes a magnesium fact sheet specifically for health professionals. And in it, they state something that should be printed on every bottle of blood pressure medication in America. They say older adults have lower dietary intakes of magnesium than younger adults. In addition, magnesium absorption from the gut decreases and renal magnesium excretion increases with age. Your body is absorbing less and losing more at the same time. And here is the kicker. Chronic treatment with loop diuretics like furosemide and thiazide diuretics can increase the loss of magnesium in urine. Proton pump inhibitors, those acid reflux pills millions of seniors take every day, can cause low magnesium levels when taken for more than a year. The NIH's own data says this. The very medications meant to help you may be quietly pulling magnesium out of your body. When magnesium drops, your cells lose the ability to regulate water properly. Fluid that should stay inside your cells leaks into the spaces around your muscles. That is the puffiness you feel. That is the tightness in your ankles. That is why pressing your thumb into your shin leaves a dent that takes 20 seconds to fill back in. It is not extra water from drinking too much. It is water in the wrong place because the mineral that manages it is missing. The food that fixes this? Pumpkin seeds. A small handful, about 1 ounce, of roasted pumpkin seeds contains 156 milligrams of magnesium. That is 37% of your daily value from one handful. According to USDA Food Data Central, pumpkin seeds contain approximately 550 milligrams of magnesium per 100 grams. That is one of the highest magnesium concentrations in any common food. Eat them raw or lightly roasted. Skip the heavily salted ones. That defeats the purpose. Your body's magnesium levels dip in the second half of the day, and that is when swelling tends to build the most. Match the food to the need. I want to tell you about Helen. She is 71, lives in Fort Worth, Texas. For almost 3 years, her ankles would swell so badly by evening that she stopped wearing anything except slip-on sandals. She had tried cutting salt. She had tried the compression socks. She had even asked her doctor about stronger water pills. Nothing held past dinner time. When she started drinking dandelion root tea in the morning and eating a handful of unsalted pumpkin seeds with her lunch, just those 2 changes, within 11 days, the dent from pressing her shin filled back in twice as fast. After 6 weeks, she told her sister on the phone, "I wore my real shoes to church last Sunday. First time in 2 years. And if Helen's story sounds like yours, even a little, then what happened for her can happen for you. Because this was never about willpower. It was never about discipline. It was about 2 minerals your body needed and was not getting. That is all. Now you know the first 2 mechanisms: kidney function and magnesium balance. You know 2 of the 6 foods. But here's the part almost nobody understands. There's a reason your swelling has gotten worse over the last few years, and it has nothing to do with how much salt you eat or how often you put your feet up. It has to do with something happening inside your blood vessels right now. I will show you what it is. The 3rd food is avocado, and I bring it up here because avocado introduces the next mechanism, and it is the one most seniors have been getting backwards. You have been told to cut salt, and that is not wrong. But here is what nobody adds to that sentence. If you cut salt without adding potassium back, you actually make the problem worse. Your kidneys manage a delicate balance between sodium and potassium. When sodium goes up, your body holds water. When potassium goes up, your kidneys release sodium, and the water follows. It is a seesaw. You cannot just push one side down. You have to lift the other side up. Avocados have more potassium per 100 grams than a banana. According to USDA data, avocado contains approximately 485 milligrams of potassium per 100 grams. A banana? 358. And yet nobody tells seniors to eat avocado for swollen feet. They tell you to eat bananas. Or they tell you nothing at all. Salt pulls water in. Potassium pushes it out. Period. Half a medium avocado with your biggest meal. That is it. Your kidneys get the potassium signal. Sodium starts moving, and the fluid that was sitting in your tissues starts following. Most seniors I talk to notice that within a week or 2, pressing on their skin leaves a less deep indentation. By the 2nd month, there is more flexibility in their toes. Now, the 4th food, and this one surprises people, is fresh pineapple. Not canned, fresh. Because pineapple contains a compound called bromelain, and bromelain does something none of the other foods on this list can do. Not all swelling is just water. Sometimes it is trapped proteins and chronic low-grade inflammation, the kind that builds quietly after 60 without you ever feeling sick. Your body's immune system releases inflammatory molecules around your feet and ankles. Those molecules pull fluid into the tissue and hold it there. It is not the same mechanism as salt and water. It is a completely different pathway. A 2016 review published in Biomedical Reports, titled Potential Role of Bromelain in Clinical and Therapeutic Applications, documented bromelain's anti-inflammatory, anti-edematous, and fibrinolytic properties. Bromelain breaks down trapped proteins in swollen tissue and reduces the inflammatory molecules that hold fluid in place. In clinical settings, it has been shown to reduce edema in soft tissue injuries, which is the same type of fluid buildup happening in your feet. But here is what matters for you. Heat destroys bromelain. Canned pineapple has been heated during processing. The enzyme is gone. You need it fresh. 1 cup of fresh pineapple daily, and eat some of the core. That is where the highest concentration of bromelain lives. Most people throw the core away. Do not. Most seniors never connect this to that. Today, you will. The inflammation in your feet is not random. It is your body's response to years of microscopic damage in your lower legs. And bromelain helps calm that response down, naturally, from the inside. Remember I said there was a compound in one fruit that research found was as effective as some over-the-counter anti-inflammatory medications. This is it. Fresh pineapple. The fruit most people eat on vacation and never think about again. I want you to really hear this next part, because this is where most of the confusion lives. There are two camps right now among seniors trying to fix foot swelling. Camp 1 says, cut salt, elevate, wear the socks. Camp 2 says, forget all that, add the right minerals back, eat the right foods, fix it from the inside. And both camps think they are right, but neither camp has the full picture, because there is a fourth mechanism that neither approach addresses, and it is the one I have been building toward this entire time. But before I get there, I want to know where you stand. I want you to drop a letter in the comments right now. If you have been trying to fix your foot swelling mainly by cutting salt and elevating your legs, drop the letter A. If you have been focusing more on adding specific minerals back into our diet, like magnesium and potassium, drop the letter B. I read every single comment personally. Let me know below. And now, here is the part I have been building toward. Because everything I have told you so far addresses 3 of the 4 mechanisms. The fourth one, the one I have not talked about yet, this is the one that changes everything. You understand the conflict now. You see where the old advice breaks. But there is one thing I have not told you yet, the single piece that changes how all of this fits together. And once you see it, the question stops being which mineral or which food, and becomes something else entirely. That is what is next. Everything I just told you is real, and it matters. But there is something that changes all of it, something almost no one talks about, and once you understand it, you will never look at your swollen feet the same way again. Up to this point, we have been talking about flushing fluid out, balancing minerals, reducing inflammation, and those are real, they work. But none of them fully explains why the fluid got into your legs in the first place. If your minerals are balanced, if the inflammation is managed, why are your feet still swelling by 4 in the afternoon? Because something is leaking. Your veins after 60 are not just weak, they are leaking. The real reason foot swelling gets worse after 60 is not excess water. There is not too much salt. It is a structural failure. Your veins, the pipes that carry blood back up to your heart, are developing microscopic leaks. An enzyme called hyaluronidase is breaking down the protective lining of your vein walls. The proteins that hold the walls together, called proteoglycans, are being degraded. Tiny gaps form, and fluid that should stay inside those pipes seeps out into your legs. Once it is out, gravity pulls it to the lowest point in your body, your feet, your ankles. And when you elevate your legs at night, the fluid slowly moves back up. You wake up and your feet look normal. You think it worked. But then you stand up and the leaks are still there. The fluid comes right back. This is why elevation only gives you temporary relief. You are not fixing the leak. You are just temporarily reversing the pull of gravity. And by lunchtime, the cycle starts again. The 5th food on this list, and this is the one that surprises every single senior I talk to, is horse chestnut seed extract. Most people have never heard of it, and yet 17 clinical trials say it works. The Cochrane Database of Systematic Reviews, that is the gold standard of medical evidence, published a review by Pittler and Ernst in 2012. They analyzed 17 randomized controlled trials on horse chestnut seed extract for chronic venous insufficiency. 543 participants across 6 placebo-controlled trials. And what they found was remarkable. A weighted mean difference of 32.1 milliliters in leg volume reduction compared to placebo. That is a real, measurable reduction in leg swelling. One trial found it may be as effective as compression stockings. Horse chestnut contains a compound called acin, also written as essin. And acin does something no other compound on this list does. It inhibits hyaluronidase, the very enzyme that is breaking down your vein walls. It essentially plugs the microscopic leaks from the inside. It strengthens the seal. It reduces the amount of fluid that escapes into your tissue. Do you know what happens when the walls of your veins cannot hold fluid in anymore? Everything else you do, the tea, the minerals, the foods, works at half capacity. Because you are trying to drain a bathtub while the faucet is still running. Horse chestnut seed extract is available as a standardized capsule, standardized to SN content, typically taken twice daily with food. And I have to say this clearly, never eat raw horse chestnuts from a tree. They must be properly prepared and standardized for human use. The Cochrane Review confirmed that adverse events were mild and infrequent. Gastrointestinal complaints, mild dizziness, headache. But always talk to your doctor before starting any new supplement. I am telling you this because nobody else in this space will. Most health channels will give you a list of foods and move on. But the vein leakage mechanism, this is the piece that makes everything else make sense. The sixth food follows directly from this. Citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, grapefruit. Vitamin C is the raw material your body uses to build collagen. And collagen is the structural protein that holds your vein walls together. After 60, your body produces less collagen naturally. Without enough vitamin C, your vein walls get progressively weaker, accelerating the leak. But it is not just the vitamin C. The white pith, that spongy layer between the peel and the fruit that most people throw away, contains flavonoids, hesperidin, diosmin. A 2021 randomized controlled trial published in the journal Nutrients, Sarah and colleagues, found that diosmin significantly decreased leg edema starting from week 4. The data showed p-values below 0.001. After 8 weeks, patients who took diosmin showed significant improvement in venous clinical severity scores compared to placebo. 2 servings of citrus daily. Squeeze lemon into your water. Eat a whole orange, and do not peel every bit of the white pith off. That is where the flavonoids live. That is what strengthens your vein walls from the inside. Now, the twist has been told. The 4 mechanisms are on the table. Kidney function, mineral balance, chronic inflammation, vein wall integrity. 6 foods, 1 for each pathway, some covering more than one. But here's the thing that matters most. Knowing the foods is not enough. It is the order you eat them and when that determines whether this actually works. And that is the protocol I have been waiting to give you. We are here. This is the part I have been wanting to get to since the first minute. Everything before this was the why. This is the what to do. And I do not want you to just hear it. I want you to use it. Because the information only matters if it changes something in your day. That is what I want for you. Before we get into the protocol, the 3 mistakes. Because if you are making any of these, the 6 foods will not work the way they should. Mistake number 1. Cutting salt without adding potassium and magnesium back. You need both sides of the equation. Removing sodium without replacing potassium is like draining one end of a pool while filling the other. Your body cannot balance fluid with only half the minerals it needs. Mistake number 2. Wearing socks that are too tight at the top. Seniors wear knee-high socks or compression socks that are snug around the calf, and the elastic band at the top acts like a rubber band, trapping fluid below it. If your socks leave a deep red line across your calf, they are part of the problem. Mistake number 3, and this is the most common one, sitting for more than 2 hours without moving your feet. Your calf muscle is your second heart. Every time you flex your foot, push it down and pull it back up, you activate a pump in your lower leg that pushes fluid back toward your heart. When you sit still for hours, that pump is turned off. The fluid pools, and no food on earth can fully overcome a calf muscle that has been idle all afternoon. Before I let you go, there is one more thing, and this might be the most important part of everything I have said today. There is a reason some seniors do every single thing right. The tea, the seeds, the fruits, and still wake up with swollen feet. It has nothing to do with what you eat. It has to do with what you do in the first 60 seconds after you wake up. If the first thing you do is stand straight up and walk to the kitchen, you have just given gravity a head start on your veins before they have had a chance to wake up. Those ankle pumps before you stand, that is not optional. That is the difference between a good day and a swollen day. Now, the protocol. There are 3 windows in your day. The first one is the morning. Before you even get out of bed, pump your ankles up and down 20 times. Toes toward the ceiling, then toes toward the floor. 20 times. This activates your calf pump while you are still lying down, before gravity has a chance to start pulling fluid into your feet. Then drink a cup of dandelion root tea, steeped for 10 minutes. This signals your kidneys to start releasing excess sodium and water. Research suggests the diuretic effect begins within 5 hours. The second window is the afternoon. This is when swelling builds the most. Between 12 and 2 o'clock, eat your pumpkin seeds and your avocado with lunch. The pumpkin seeds deliver magnesium, 156 milligrams in 1 ounce. The avocado delivers potassium, nearly 500 milligrams per 100 grams. Together, they give your cells the minerals they need to manage water from the inside. Most seniors never connect this to that. Today, you will. The third window is the evening. Have your fresh pineapple, 1 cup, including some of the core. The bromelain works on the inflammatory fluid your body has been building all day. Squeeze lemon into your water. The vitamin C and flavonoids support your vein walls overnight. Put your feet up on pillows for 15 minutes. And if you are taking horse chestnut seed extract, take your second dose with dinner. Here is what to expect. In the first 2 weeks, research suggests you should feel less tightness. You will notice more trips to the bathroom. That is the dandelion working. When you press on your shin, the dent should fill back in faster. By the end of the first month, most seniors report their shoes fit better all day. The sock marks are not as deep. After 2 to 3 months of consistency, and this is where it adds up, most people describe it as having brand new legs. I want to tell you about Robert. He is 73, lives in Tampa, Florida. His wife noticed he had stopped going on their evening walks because his feet hurt too much by 5 o'clock. He started with the dandelion tea and pumpkin seeds. 2 weeks in, he added avocado at lunch and fresh pineapple in the evening. After he talked to his doctor and added horse chestnut extract with dinner, something shifted. At 3 months, his wife told their daughter, "He is back." He waited for me at the door last night with his walking shoes on. Robert said it simply, "I just wanted my legs back." After 60, your feet are not swelling because you are getting older. They are swelling because 4 systems need specific support they are no longer getting. And now you know exactly what to give them. Now you know the 4 mechanisms. You know the 6 foods. You know the daily protocol. And you know the 1 mistake that undoes all of it. But now that you understand how fluid leaks out of your veins and pools in your feet, there is another system in your lower body that is quietly working against everything you just learned. It is the reason some seniors still feel heaviness and weakness in their legs even after the swelling goes down. And it has nothing to do with fluid. It has to do with the nerves inside your feet. And one food most seniors eat every day that is making it worse. I cover exactly that in the next video.